So this is my current item that I'm working with. I narrowed, I think the most recent edits that I made since the last video were I changed, maybe I did this on camera, changed the radius of that. I think the end axle caps I changed um off camera. Basically, I made them I think it was 0.3 millimeters tolerance in total between the two. Um, and you'll see these are the wheel bogies are not aligned with the axles. That's because it will be a pain to align them because I all the work after from the axle on is independent of the wheel bogies assembly, whatever that's called. So the reason why I had to change this because was the size of the wheel bogies and the placement was because I had to redesign from 4 millimeter rail diameter to 3 because my what's it called it came in my Coaster Dynamics track came in. Never mind these two wheels there. Let me actually hide them. I copied that for purposes of printing easily, so I don't have to for every basically when you open when you open Cura, if you want to print 24 wheels, you don't want to have to bring the wheel file in 12 times. You want to copy paste them in Fusion 360. To do that, you could exponentially copy paste them, and then when you have the amount, you export that file STL. So I changed the rail diameter, and also I the inner diameter of the side and upstop were 1.2, and I had to change that to 1.5. So I ended up redrawing this whole assembly here. Other thing was I got the seats in. You'll see the seats. They didn't print that good. The seat back, this waist area here did not print nicely. It's basically very flimsy and it snaps. Also, whenever you print supports or anything thin in a series with gaps, it strings the filament across and wisps, and it's very not good. Another issue is I'll show you the print that I got, and I'll comment on the different settings that I used and critiques that I have for future. But here, this is what I printed of regards to. I edited a lot. I extruded all sides of plates that have the socket housing, the socket, because um I can't print the linkage pin very smoothly. It always comes out weird. So I give myself some extra room for wiggle room. Um, let me, I don't do anything here, but I'll save it anyways. Save. And open the track file. This is what I printed currently. Right now everything is combined. There's no separate pieces to glue in. I wanted to be able to print it out to test and to film. So I had to edit the radius, the diameter of the rail insert. I had to make this beefier so that when I'm pushing on it to snap the rail on, it wouldn't destroy the cross tie. I made these a bit too thick, but it's okay. Otherwise it printed out nicely. Again, with the bottoms popping off and the supports popping off, these didn't come out perfect in some of them, but it's so small. As long as it has something to catch, as long as the rail has something to catch on it works. Basically, I had to clean it up a little bit. I'm gonna cut this part here, and I'm probably not gonna upload this until my 8 millimeter length screws or bolts come in. But you're gonna see this at the same time. So yeah, that's for the 3D model display. Also, before I go, I wanted to show you the other options here. So as I said in a different video, I haven't figured out if the pattern along path works in 3 dimensions or only in 2. So far I've only had to use 1 dimension. If you curve in the 2D, it works. It even follows the orientation, but 3D I don't think it works, and therefore I'm either going to have to print out inserts and glue them in, make like sockets here to glue the cross ties, or I'm gonna make clip-on. So basically, cross ties is gonna have an extra width here, comes down, has a 90-degree under, and then a 45-degree, so you can snap it on. If that's not, I'm not designing it now, so otherwise, if you didn't understand that, I mean, I'm not going to explain it any better than that. Um, and then you would basically put it on at any interval you wanted to. You could print out like a flange limit on either side, but then again, you're gonna if the support AI thinks that it needs to if the support algorithm thinks that it needs to put in supports for the flange, every single thing you do that comes out at a 90, it wants to put supports on, and then it's really hard to clean. So it's either if the print along guided path or pattern along a guided path exists, then this is fine. Either you do this or you still have to put you would still have to even if you printed out inserts, you would still have to do a print along guided path for the voids. But if you either did solid extrusion, sweep, or you would have to do the snap-on pieces. But that covers that, I believe. The other issues were if they can't print vertically with this at this overhang with the support nicely, I have to print it. I would have to print the whole thing vertically. Whatever, different orientations. Maybe I would print it upside down. I've been thinking about how to print it best, but I think that ends my 3D model display part of the video. Let me show you what I have so far, both in prints and in tools and products. So I got 4 sets of 11-foot rail. They come with these connector pins. My track comes out like this. Came out like this. You can see the bottom has a slight curve, especially on this side. It did not print out very nicely. It warped. Let me show you other pieces that warped up from the print that did not come out very good. This piece also had a slight warp. Not sure if that's because the bed's too hot or not hot enough. I think this is the best example, or worst example, I should say. But again, these seats came out, like I said, the back is flimsy, and it gets very wispy. I mean, it's so small that I don't mind that. I think the fact that there are some sort of seats there are pretty cool. There's a chain dog. Well, I haven't tried to put one in because I need the 8mm screws. In order to get the wheel assemblies slide on nicely with the new radius, whatever diameter. The issue is, you can see that my pins, chain dogs, and other bits. The new where is it? So in this bowl, I have all the small wheels that I don't want to lose. So you have the larger wheels are the road wheels are called. These smaller ones are the upstop and I think guide wheels. And these thinner rings, if I can pick one up without crushing it. I'm not going to crush it, but these are axle caps. And I tried. So right here you can see I have successfully put on the axle caps. They have a specifically smaller inner radius diameter so that they do not spin
on the axles. That makes them harder to put on, and therefore I have to use my razor to chamfer, I think it's called. Basically put an angle on those edges. First of all, I have to clean it up, and I also have to put an angle on those edges so I can force the axle caps on. And that makes it that the wheel bogies don't slip off the sides. Not just that, but I made the axles longer than necessary because I was just nervous that they wouldn't have enough. They wouldn't be wide enough, long enough for axle caps to fit on at the end and have a tolerance to spin. So I put on one and left one off so you can see what the print comes out like. If it will focus on the different rail inserts, you can see that one on the right there did not come out so nicely because the support broke off halfway or at the end of the print. The longer the support is, the more leverage it has to pull off of the bed, and I'm not sure whether less heat or more heat would work better. But not all the ones on the left were that good either. You can see that 1/4 in has some garbage underneath, which the rail actually helped to snap it off of it so it could go on. The 5th one, the second to last, has a hard time going on because that bit of garbage underneath it is hard and doesn't want to come off. I have to clean it up. And as regards to those rail connectors, because I'm putting cross tie on the connector flange plate, I don't think I'll need to use those rail connectors because I can have two abutting pieces of track. As long as they have very good tolerance, very close, it will ride smooth. Of course, if necessary, I can try to get the piece of tubing to end in the middle of a cross tie, so that I'll have two separate rail sections, that much more accurately closer. Again, I don't have I have 4mm screws, but everything except the bottom needs an 8mm screw. So, I mean, even the bottoms, if I do a 4mm, it'll be very tight, and it'll have room to go out of the track. So I don't know whether that's a good idea. I think the only thing I'm going to be able to use the 4mm screws for are the support beam flanges together, because those are going to be probably 1.5mm thick. So that's 3, and then you have 1mm left for the nut, whatever. I've tested the radius with the 4mm screws to know how to print the wheels, so I know that works. The one need a little bit of cleaning up, which is why I also ordered mini drill bits that are, I think I said that, M 1.5 something and M1.3. Those should help me clean. I don't think they come with a drill handle, like an actual drill to put the drill bit into, but Mini Taps very nicely gave me this very nice tool that you stick in the bit, and it I'm not sure what this kind of piece is called, but it snaps under the ring and then it holds it. And I also have a mini socket wrench. Anyways, I'm gonna connect the next installment with the 8mm screws, which will allow me to fully test the system. Thanks for watching. So this is where we're holding as of now. I think I'm gonna upload this today. So I finally got some new hardware. If this won't fly off the desk, I got from Mini Taps. This is what I got just now on Saturday. And I got the 1.8 1.3 drill bit, which allows me to clean the wheels. They really just need to clear just 1 millimeter, but I print them with a 1.5, and then I clean them to 1.3, and that's what we have. You can see this is where we're up to. I thought I needed double jointed, double 2-ball sockets, but you can see that it just sags. And even if I do a series of more cars, they're just gonna be like a zigzag. I was discussing with my dad the geometry of what I would need. Well, first I want to talk about the print again. So I have to print the wheel assembly, the brackets, in that orientation. Otherwise, there's too many supports, and you crack it. What else? Again, I didn't fix that warp or pop off the bed issue. The hardware is working fine. I needed to use. You can see there's a little bit of yellow coloring on the nuts there. That's because as the wheels turn, because I don't have lock washers or something like that. As the wheels turn, or if they roll backwards or forwards, depending on their orientation, they will unscrew the nuts. So I have to glue them on for now. I need to get my M1 lock washers. Hopefully that will work out. As for the axle caps, basically I had to trim off the ends of the axles and round them out a bit so I can push the axle caps on. Then I pushed them down further so that the wheel brackets will have the right gauge. They'll hug the track. They're not quite. I don't have quite enough grab on the track, but the wheels aren't rolling anyways nicely. So, and I also need a sander to make the wheels smooth. I need a bunch more things, but I'm not ready to buy it yet until I make money off of this. So now, what else I wanted to say? I said about the glue, washers, the printing. I think I wanted to mention something else. Anyways, I don't have a tripod yet, so I'm gonna try to film this while I hold it. Maybe I'll put the camera there. Let's try to balance it. Now, if I can show you, if I keep this on the track, but I twist the track. You can see that, you can't see, but basically, I'm trying to give you a better angle. It sags on a straight, but when it gets to a curve, a twisted curve, it needs some. It's still wiggly, but it needs some sort of axes or turning points, joints, to be able to make this twist. I'm not sure. I think I think I need to put a vertical axis through the car plate so that each car will have I believe a yaw on the wheel bogie and the wheel assembly, and I need a roll shaft, shorter obviously, roll shaft between two cars. I think that's what I'm gonna go with for now, but I have to figure out. I don't know how to figure out these kinds of geometry, and I don't think Fusion 360 has a simulator that can do that. So I think this is pretty cool. The micro assembly is really fascinating. I can't get over it. And like
look at this. It's amazing. I mean, obviously it's sagging, but it rolls along the thing, and it twisty track. It manages to go along. Obviously, I don't have the track here. I just have the tubing, so it's popping off. I'm gonna cut this here, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe. As soon as I have a working viable train, I will post it on Etsy. I think for sale for probably $10, maybe less. I'm not promising that it will make a circuit, but it will be a nice display, especially if you can print it in like metal, metallic, or resin or something. Have a desk display. It's gonna have supports, and I might put some restraints on it. We'll see. Thanks for watching.